The CAO education differs from most educational institutions in as much as we're very principles-based driven. A lot of schools spend a lot of time emphasizing the memorization of technique. The CAO really believes in teaching the student to think and to work through osteopathic treatment, osteopathic manual treatment that is really rooted in the principles of the profession as set forth by Dr. Andrew Taylor, still the founder of osteopathy. So one of the hallmarks of CAO graduates is their ability to problem solve and be critical in the way they relate to an osteopathic case. The labs here at the CAO are very supervised. There's a lot of instruction, a lot of people helping out, making sure that the students are getting the information they need to be successful and safe. I think that's a very important aspect of learning this information, is to have enough lab time, enough practice time, enough clinical supervision to make sure that you're a safe and efficient and effective practitioner. So we try to make sure that the student to teacher ratio is very, very, very favorable toward the student. Classical osteopathy is osteopathy that's driven by principles. So we're looking at the reason why the patient isn't well rather than their subjective complaints. So in osteopathy and classical osteopathy, we're looking at objective findings that drive our osteopathic treatment to put the body in a position to self-heal and self-regulate. That is one of the fundamental principles of classical treatment, is really looking at the mechanics, the anatomy, and the physiology, bringing it all together three-dimensionally, and trying to get the body to respond to this mechanical stimulus in a physiological way. It's worth noting how I came to learn about classical osteopathy and how I became an advocate for this earliest style of osteopathic education and treatment. I myself was educated as an eclectic osteopath, learning a wide variety of manipulations and so on and so forth. And it wasn't until my journey to Maidstone to do a postgraduate course with Mr. Wernham that I realized that the majority of my osteopathy was null and void of principles, and that I needed to get back further in touch with the classical roots of the profession. And that was made very clear to me when Mr. Wernham said in a very serious tone that I was not adjusting my patient. And I was furious to hear that after all the effort I had put into my osteopathic education. But true to form, over the period of many, many years, I've come to realize that he was absolutely right. I recognized that he was talking about integration and coordination, looking at the body collectively, bringing the body back into some sort of whole. And this was a very, very important part of Mr. Wernham's discussion. It's about integration and correlation. And that is the essence of the work that I believe Mr. Wernham was doing over the course of his life. And I think very oftentimes it's misunderstood. People think that it's simply a general treatment. And Mr. Wernham's understanding of the body was certainly not general. So that's where I started to make my change, was under Mr. Wernham's direction in Maidstone, and we've brought that here to Hamilton, and that's the type of osteopathy that we're now teaching our students. The CAO student experience is very unique. I think one of many things that the students always comment on is how we were truly there for them all the way through their osteopathic journey. We have tutorials, and students are able to come in and get some extra help, and we're always available for our students. This college truly never shuts its doors. Myself and other professors are available almost all the time to help out and participate in this educational journey for all these people that want to learn classical osteopathy. We have a great student council. That student council is very vibrant. They do a lot of great social activities. The student council does a great job of bringing everybody together and maintaining that family atmosphere that I think is really important in education. One of the greatest offerings we have for our students here at the CAO is the fact that we have a beautifully renovated new facility here in Hamilton on Ottawa Street, which is a very vibrant commercial street here in the city, full of cafes and restaurants and things of that sort. But most importantly is we're really investing in our labs and our classrooms to make sure that the students have the right materials for them to be successful. There's beautiful student lounges and places for students to recreate and relax between classes, and facilities for the students that make their time here more enjoyable. So that's a big part of the CAO's contribution, and that contribution is to make sure that the students are comfortable while they're here learning at this facility in Hamilton, Ontario.